What's up, guys? On today's episode, we are honored and so excited to talk to Kristin with A Rural Squirrel. Don't say that 3 times fast. That's a little hard. But Kristin, thanks for jumping on here and joining us. We're so excited to talk to you.
I'm so grateful. I'm so excited to see you guys. This is super exciting.
So glad that you're here, and we're excited to dive into your business. You've been doing this for a little while, right?
Yeah, 25 years on eBay.
Okay.
That's awesome.
So go ahead and let us know, how did you get started in this?
I think it was sort of by accident. So my husband had an eBay because he wanted to buy some things, and I had a yard sale, and I thought, I can't put this Longaberger basket in a yard sale. It won't get what I think it's worth back then. So I popped it up on eBay, and then it sold right away, and I started selling all kinds of other good stuff.
Just all around your house?
Mostly because I mean, that's what we had, and it wasn't a flipping business. It was just, hey, this is better than yard sale. Let's do it. So I've been out there for a while. Yeah.
That's awesome. And you're one of the, like, I started at the same time back when eBay started. So you're one of the people who has seen the growth of eBay and knows back in the day that you didn't just get to snap a picture on your smartphone. You didn't get to throw it in a minute. You had to go through a long process to get a listing onto eBay. So
yeah,
I can relate to that.
Definitely. We had to put, we didn't always put a picture on because the picture cost extra money. And if I had teenage girls at home. So if I was on dial-up trying to put a listing up and somebody called one of my kids, it would shut me out. And then I would have to start the listing all over because there was no drafts. You had to start all over. Oh my gosh, that dial-up that like killed me.
There's probably people listening right now going, what the heck is dial-up? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
That's so funny. That is really, really
We've been listing longer than some of these people have been alive.
Absolutely.
That is crazy though, that how many hurdles you had to jump through just to get something listed. Whereas now it's literally like you can do it. Once you're efficient, you can do it very quickly in the palm of your hand.
Yeah. Or just waiting for them to pay for it so that you could send it to them. And it was so slow waiting for the check or the money order to come so that you could send this back out.
You just sparked a memory in my mind because we're going down memory lane right now. I remember when I started eBay, this was when you had to have the dial-up. I would go and get these free, I don't know if they were discs or CDs at that time, that you could get, like, I think it was 5 hours free of AOL. And I used to do that.
That's right.
That's how I used to get my internet because I was a kid, so I didn't pay for the internet. And I would go and use those free internets to be able to go on and list items on eBay. So that's really cool.
That's right.
I forgot all about that until we started talking, and I'm like, oh, this is insane.
That was a painful memory that we had to block out. That's what that was.
Oh, that's crazy.
You said, I was not on eBay at that time, but you said you had to do HTML too, like all the
if you want to do extra stuff, like, you had to figure out how to do it. I still remember even my pictures that I put into it. I had to have a separate hosting site, and it was called BoomSpeed. Believe it or not, I remember that. I don't know if they're still around or not, but we had to upload our pictures into BoomSpeed. We had to use HTML to actually code the pictures into the eBay listing, and then when it actually went live, the picture actually just showed up inside the description. So I don't know if you ever did that stuff either, but that's kind of how I grew up doing it. So
yeah, definitely. And I think it's crazy because now we can put videos on. It's so great. The evolution of it has been fun to see, frustrating sometimes, but fun to see. So
absolutely.
Yeah. Are you using videos in your listings?
I just put one on. I have a little dancing wiggly guy, and I thought, you know what? I'm just going to see if it helps. I've only done a couple of them. Have you guys?
Yeah, absolutely.
We just started recently.
Yeah, right? Within the last couple of months. So on our more expensive items, I'm trying to do videos and integrate them in. Ours, and I don't know, just doing them off my iPhone, I can only do, I think it's like 48 to 50 seconds is all they'll let me do. If I go higher than that, they say it's too big. I'm sure it's because of how it's saved. But yeah, we have been integrating them into it. And I have a huge, like an oven that I'll be listing today that's going to go for like $8,000 or $9,000. Yeah, definitely. I'm going to put a video of that thing working. And nobody else people aren't utilizing videos yet. So that is definitely one of the things that you can stick out with your listing. So we try to do it when we can, for sure.
Yeah, good idea, especially with those big ticket items.
If you can show they're working, people are more comfortable to buy. Like people are a lot more comfortable now to buy on the internet than they were back in the day, but still, like, when they're spending that much,
but yeah, and you also remember before PayPal, you had to wait for a personal check to come
I
in the mail
know.
until you got that personal check. Then you had to deposit it into your account, wait
Yep.
for it to clear before you
Yep.
actually shipped the item out. So yeah, it's memory lane is crazy. Memory lane is
You
crazy.
know my language. Exactly. We've been through the same. We were in the foxhole together. I understand. That's
Oh,
right.
it's crazy.
Actually, I had people occasionally send me cash.
Really?
Yes, they're just
Wow.
crazy. But you know, it was the Wild West back then too.
You know, yeah.
So they just mail you cash? Just
In an
like,
envelope.
Yeah.
envelope? Just like-
With
Yeah,
the
just like it
queen
was a
listening.
birthday card or something.
That's crazy.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
The way business is transformed. So are you doing this now full-time, part-time? What are your
Yeah, so I recognize though that my full-time is, you know, some people's part-time is way more than my full-time. And I'm grateful for that, you know, I have the opportunity to do this. So, and it's still not a bad gig. My husband's job requires that we moved a lot, so it was difficult for me to have like a career. And then about 10 years ago, I was like, oh my gosh, this could maybe be like a real thing. Like I could maybe actually make a living doing this.
yeah.
So it kind of accidentally fell into my lap. And I thought, you know, I'm going to try a little harder at making this a real job.
Yeah.
So I've been doing it full time for about 10 years.
Wow.
Cool. That's awesome. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. Are you comfortable? Can you give us maybe like some hours that you're expecting to spend a week when you're working and maybe how much you're making?
Like
Or
average month.
if you're not comfortable, no big deal. But yeah, we try
Well,
to.
I spend a lot of time on it.
Okay.
But that's because I like it. So
Yeah, too.
if this was my side gig, or even if it wasn't a money-making deal, I would still do it because it's fun.
Yeah.
So I like the sourcing part of it. I don't mind the listing part of it because I really love the cha-ching part of it. So it's
Yeah.
all good. And it fluctuates over the years. Some years I did, you know, a whole bunch more than I do now. It depends on whether or not I was like working at the school when the kids were in school, or whether or not I had a full-time volleyball gig,
Yeah.
or I think it depends too. But in the last 10 years, I probably average about 30 to 40 a year.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. That is
Yeah.
really awesome.
Again,
So,
sort of full-time, part-time.
Yeah, no, that's yeah.
but I totally relate to you, and I'm the same way. Like in one facet or another, I will flip for the rest of my life. It's
Yeah.
just it's something that's inside of us that it's like this is
Yeah.
so much fun no matter what. Even if I'm making millions and millions of dollars flipping
Yeah.
items, I still will absolutely have fun flipping. I mean, if money is no issue, it doesn't matter. It's still one of those things that I just love. I love it.
I love it. I grew up doing this though too. So, I mean, I remember going to my first auction when I was about 5. So my mom and dad, my dad's always been a tinkerer and a flipper, and he, you know, still does it even now. And my aunt and everybody is super into it. So at a family reunion, everybody's like, you know, can we talk about something other than eBay, please?
That's awesome.
So are you mostly on eBay, or do you sell on other platforms too? Because now there's all these other platforms besides eBay that are here.
Yeah. So I have a Poshmark, and I have about 1 sale a week on Poshmark, but I don't cross post very often, and I don't have one of those VA share things. It's just me.
Yeah.
And then Marketplace for some of the bigger things.
Cool.
Sounds
Yeah.
that's what we do too.
Yeah, absolutely.
We throw a couple things,
Yeah.
like I was doing Poshmark a little bit for some clothes, but then we always come back to eBay.
That's
eBay
it.
just has always been the best for us.
Yeah. eBay's the mother. You got to go back.
Absolutely.
One thing you said, which I really love too, is that, you know, in different parts and times of your life, like if you were doing volleyball, or you were doing, like you were involved here, you could scale back on your eBay. Like that's the beauty
Right.
of this business. Like you can work more and do more and make more, or you can scale it back and it
Absolutely.
can be something smaller on the side. So
Right. It's whatever you want it to be. And I think that is so nice about it because everybody does it completely differently. So I think it's nice that you have something that you just know is there to fall back on.
yeah.
And it is. It's freedom. That's what it boils down to be. If you're working for somebody, you don't have that freedom to be like, okay, guess what? I only want to work 2 hours this week because I'm going to go do stuff with my kids. You don't have that option. But when you're doing this, yeah, the sky's the limit of what you're able to
Sky's
do.
the limit.
Exactly. That's really
I love it whenever Mr. Squirrel will say, hey, on Wednesday, can we go to Idaho? No problem. I'll just, I'll put my store on vacation mode, and it's really flexible, and I could be making sales while I'm trekking the mountains. I love it.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
It's really cool. I bet if you lose reception while you're, and then you come back, you're like, ah, cha-ching, cha-ching.
Cha-ching, 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 cha-ching. Not mad about it. Yep. Yep.
That's awesome. Do you have a certain, like, are you attracted to certain kinds of items that you like to sell?
I mostly source at the bins these
Okay.
days
Okay.
because the cost of goods is so good. So I will sell anything that I think I can make money on. I don't really niche down because I don't know what I'm going to find at the bins.
Right.
And I've always been whatever I can find kind of a seller. So but that's all, it's always been that way. So I sell anything.
You guys are so similar.
Yeah.
It's really
I'm the
funny.
same way. We don't really have a niche that we
Whatever.
do either.
I mean,
Exactly.
we've gotten to the bigger stuff, but still, like, he's like, if it's gonna make me money, I'm gonna sell it. Like,
Yep.
One day I'm selling a prosthetic leg. The next day I'm selling a bus wash. So it's like,
That's right.
What the heck?
Exactly.
yeah,
Exactly.
no rhyme or reason. Whatever will make money. That's what we do. Yeah, for sure. That's cool.
and when did you start like sharing your journey with others, like on social media, YouTube? How long has that been? Have you been doing that?
I think, well, in October, it'll be 2 years,
Okay.
which to me sounds crazy. And I think that the reason that I did that was more to like for fun for me, because I just can't believe some of the things that I've picked up over the years and think, did I sell that? Do I still have that? Oh, remember that one time? I think it's just been more of a diary for me, and the opportunity to go meet other people, because I'm such an extrovert, which is hard whenever you work at home by yourself all day, every day.
Yeah.
So I really do like being able to go out and meet other people and finding what knowing what they find. I feel like we're all, as resellers, all on the same team. So I want to hear about your victories and about your exciting stories and
Absolutely.
great things that you've been doing. I
Yeah.
just want to be a cheerleader for everybody. So
That's awesome.
I love it. That's awesome. Yeah. So what would you say one or two things that maybe have helped you stay on course or have success? I know you have a passion for this, so that probably is a huge piece of it, but what would you like to give to other people? Like something that,
Yeah, to
a
help them
tidbit,
for sure.
I think probably being consistent. I mean, even when you aren't doing it every single day, all day long, but over the course of time, I mean, 25 years, if you stay consistent with it, you're gonna be successful at any of that kind of stuff. But also having a willingness to learn and adapt. Change is something that is gonna happen, and you guys know, if you've been around since eBay started, things change a lot. And
Absolutely.
sometimes they're big. You got to have PayPal. Now you don't have PayPal. You got to do it this way. Now, there's always changes. I think being willing to accept it and just change is it makes it so much easier to deal with everything if you just get over it.
Yep.
Just move on. It's going to be fine. Just do what they say. It works out.
It is a huge point. Even just recently when eBay updated their listing tool so you could put videos in, a lot of people are like, I don't like that listing tool. And it's like, get over it and start, because that's where they're going to. You don't really have an option. Why don't you take it and embrace it, learn it quickly, and then you will like it just as much as the old one. So yeah, I totally get that. I relate. That's great information for sure.
Yeah. As soon as they brought out that new listing tool, I was like, let's move on with it. And I thought it was nice. I thought
I
it was
did
fun. I like
too.
it.
I know.
I like it.
Got so
Now-
much feedback from people that are like, oh, it's horrible. I don't like the listing. And I'm like, dude, it's made to make your life easier. That's the deal here. Just switch over, get used to it, because they ain't going backwards. They're only
Right.
going forwards.
We're only moving forward. That's right.
And if you can, like you said, if you can just expect, like, okay, it's new now, there'll probably be some bugs at first, like just kind of
Yeah.
roll with it and not just be so upset. I think
It's not going to be that way forever, guys.
Yeah.
If it's quirky and weird, that's just an opportunity for you to go walk around outside or go bake a cake or something.
Yep.
I don't know, just take a break for a second. That's all it's telling you, that you just need to take a minute for yourself and come back to it later.
Absolutely. Great advice.
We've used a lot of different softwares for our business, like, all the stuff for our coaching and everything. And I'm like, everything breaks at some point. Like there is nothing, there's nothing that will just work 100% of the time.
Absolutely.
Our
That would be
website's
great if
gone
it
down.
did.
Yeah.
It would be great if it did, but it doesn't. So roll with it, guys.
Yep.
Roll with it.
No,
Roll with the punches.
Yeah.
That's
so
it.
Can you think of any buys that you regret? Any bad buys that?
Good question.
Oh, I can't. Can I name all of them? Do we have
Yeah.
time? Yeah, I mean, I think every time I go to the bins, I pick up something that I think, sure, I'll try it. And I'll get, $3.99 for it. I have stuff that doesn't sell. I have stuff that, but I don't have anything specific over the course of this amount of
Right.
time that I've been like, oh my gosh, my business is going to fail because I picked this one item up. I think you're just going to have some that just aren't as good as others.
Yeah, for sure. You just have to realize that as well too. So
Yeah.
I love their attitude of just kind of laid back, like it's just gonna
Go with the flow.
go with the flow. It's
That's it.
gonna work out.
It's
And
hard to be cranky and fussy when you try to be grateful. It's almost impossible to be grateful and mad. So I
yeah.
try to put my perspective in that direction every day.
For sure. That's good.
Yeah. So where do you like coming from where you're at now? Like, do you just kind of want to stay consistent and do what you're doing? Like you're enjoying it? Like, do you have different goals for your business
growth.
or growth
Yeah.
or maybe YouTube, or what are you thinking?
Yeah, I think that I'm having a lot of fun doing the YouTube
Yeah,
thing.
that's
And
awesome.
it does take up a lot of time.
It
So
does.
it makes it so that it's more challenging to get some of the listing done. But I like the consistency of where I'm at right now because I would like to do more traveling. I would like to be able to go see more cool, fun things like you guys have gotten to do this last summer. So I really want to stay where I'm at.
No,
I want to do more with the YouTube and consistently do what I'm doing with eBay. So
Yeah.
I like
That's
it.
awesome. That's awesome.
I think it really changes like when you change your perspective to like where I'm at is really I'm content. So I think that's the word, like content with where I'm at, because yes, we always want to be striving to be growth, but if you're not content, then you're just like always chasing after
Yeah.
that next thing.
And a key is
Yeah.
what you said about grateful, being thankful for where you're at and appreciating where you're at. Cause I mean, even like us, even like a lot of people, there's a lot of people who don't have and are not where we're at. And you just think about, man, for us, we bring it back to God. I mean, we thank God where we're at and that he's given us what he's given us. So it's one of those things that, yeah, if you're appreciative where you're at, it's just so awesome. It's really, really cool to be to that level and have the mindset of that versus not enjoying where you're at in the moment and looking forward and trying to get to that next level and trying to get to that next thing. So I think that's awesome.
But I think too, at the point I'm at in my life, I mean, I've got grandbabies.
Wow.
So I feel like eventually we're gonna try to like wind things down. Maybe Mr. Squirrel will get to retire. And the plan is to be able to thrift and travel the country and still be able to enjoy what we can do. So I don't think I would call it scaling down. I think it's just adapting and adjusting to other goals that we have in our life. And this is such a flexible occupation, if you want to call it an occupation, because it's so fun. So it's not like I'm, sitting in a cubicle somewhere. I get to go wherever I want, whenever I want. And I want to be able to do that more. So
very well said. I agree. 100%.
We've talked to several people who are like before retirement, like they're like, okay, I want to get my business, a little bit steady so that when we retire, like we can do this when we want and kind of, and it's fun. Like we've had some couples that do it together and like it's just fun. Like you get to go to the thrift store together. We enjoy it. We go lunch. Oh, let's stop at the thrift store on the way back or something.
That's so great. Mr. Squirrel's just going to drive. That's all.
I will say it took me a little while to come to the other side. So it's not in my blood as much as it is.
But we have a unique relationship. So I'm the flipper. I don't know like anything on social media. I'm not very good at Facebook. Other than buying, I can buy on Marketplace like there's nobody's business. But when it comes to commenting to people and doing all that kind of stuff, that's where Melissa takes off and she does everything on the back end, even podcasts and this kind of stuff. So we complement each other very well in that aspect.
That is so nice.
Yeah.
I'm more about, I like this stuff. Okay, I can check this off. We can do this. And I don't know. But I do love finding like when you find something though, there is something like, oh, there's this treasure just sitting here and somebody needs it. So let me get it to them who needs it and wants it.
I went and bought a pedal car yesterday. So I'm a sucker for some cool stuff. And my contact sent me a picture of a pedal car. So I go there for the pedal car. He upsells me. I am coming back with 3 items versus the pedal car. And then I got the pedal car and we were talking about bust and I got it home and it's not really worth anything. But the cool thing is the other 2 items he gave me are worth, $400. So, and I spent $100 for everything. So it's kind of cool. Yeah. It's just crazy stuff. But
Occasionally, I can get Mr. Squirrel to be like, he brought home a sled one day. He's like, hey, what do you think of this? Should we buy it? And I was like, oh, it's $35. And for me, that's a lot when I pay $1.50 for everything that I get at the bin. So he's like, what do you think of that sled? I said, we'll try it. It sold for like $300+ plus.
Nice.
What? So
Got a good eye.
sometimes he's got a little bit of a bug for it, but
that's awesome.
You know, he just wants me to be able to make it so that we've got, you know, something to fall back on, something that we can rely on for whenever he didn't want to work anymore. And I don't blame him. He's worked a long time.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I actually, that reminded me of when I was on maternity leave. I was a personal trainer and didn't get paid maternity leave. So I took like 6 weeks off. I was like, okay, I know we have the newborn, but I'm going to help you. Like, I'll get your listings done. You go find some more stuff and I'll do the back end stuff so that we can make more money to getting through our 6 weeks that we had.
Yeah,
so that's right.
Yeah. And that's kind of how we really started working on it together.
For sure.
Yeah. So people can find you on YouTube and Instagram. Is that the best places to find you?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
What kind of things are you sharing on your YouTube? I'm just curious, like that you want to help people with, or sharing your journey.
So I go to lots of different bins locations. And so I've been to 30 different bins locations.
Wow.
So I kind of talk about that and our travel over there. And then I like to do a bins challenge. So if I can find somebody in the area, then I do a challenge with them. And then I do Sunday what sold videos and do like a shipping video.
Okay.
That's cool. That's what I've got going on right now. And then I really love getting on chat shows and checking out everybody else. So I, again, just want to be a cheerleader and a supporter for everybody else too.
I love it.
That's awesome.
What is it? How does a bins challenge work? I'm curious.
Well, usually we go to a bins and then we've got 1 hour to find one item. And at the end of 1 hour, we run the comps and see who has the most potential for profit based on that one item.
That's cool.
That's fun.
Yeah, it's been kind of fun. So
do you find somebody locally like that you're near, or
usually if I know I'm going to be somewhere, then I say, hey, you know, I know, like I went and met with Rachel Strickland.
Yeah.
She was in St. Louis area. So I was going to be in the area. I said, come on over, and we did one. And then I've done several in Denver too, because I'm here, you know.
Right.
And then I went to Las Vegas and did one. It was super fun.
That's awesome.
That is cool. You know, I don't think we've actually ever been to the bins, have we?
Not that I know of.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I know you hear it everywhere. It's everywhere, but I don't think, I mean, I know I haven't. I don't know if you have.
I thought when you said the bin, I mean, I'm even that much in the
bin.
I know, but I thought you were talking about clothes, like you're buying from.
Oh, there's clothes there.
Are there?
Yeah, there's clothes there. You got to dig through it, but there's everything there.
Yeah.
I mean,
I thought it was mostly clothes. I didn't know it was a lot of other stuff too.
Oh yeah, sure. I mean, you could be digging through and find a plunger and, you know, shoes and a new stove, and you never know what you can find.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's super crazy.
What is the most unique item you found in the bins?
Oh my gosh, so many different things. I've found blow molds and Louis Vuitton and Gucci and I found a Pendleton blanket one time that it was in such great shape, and I thought, I'm not sure if this is legit because I'd never seen this pattern before. Turns out it was like a specialty pattern that only they just like did a limited run, and it came with a skateboard or something. And I almost threw it back, but I sold it for $485.
Wow.
Nice.
And I almost threw it back.
Good thing you didn't. You went with your gut.
I know. Weird, right? They're just crazy stuff every time you go.
That's cool.
Yeah. So people just,
but it is crazy in there. I think my nieces have gone to the Goodwill,
they have. Yeah.
And they said it was like crazy insane with lots and lots of people. That's how it is.
Sometimes.
Correct? Okay.
Sometimes, but I mean, it just feels like they rotate the bins. Sometimes it feels like Black Friday every 30 minutes. But I like Black Friday.
Yeah.
I like that excitement of the new stuff. Yeah, like you're digging for gold. So it's just, I don't mind it. And I don't think it gets crazy, terribly crazy.
Yeah.
And if you don't want to be in the crazy, you just stand to the side until the piranhas are over, and then you can move in.
Right.
My problem is I like even at the flea market, I mean, I would be grabbing stuff left and right and have my arms full until I could go and check what the value is on everything. And then I'd go start putting stuff back that wasn't worth money.
Yep,
So,
exactly. That's what I do.
Okay.
Exactly.
That's cool.
No,
That's
is
really
fun.
cool.
Yeah, we need to go just to go. Maybe we'll come next time we come through Colorado. We'll come do a bins
Would
challenge.
you?
Yeah,
That
Would you?
that
That
would
would be
be-
so
that'd be
great.
fun.
that'd be cool.
Yeah, we'd love to. That'd
For
be
sure.
fun. That'd be a fun experience. So
Yeah, you do need to check it out. I think there's several in your area.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
they're in Orlando. Yeah, I'm
I know in
sure.
Tampa area.
My nieces, I'm sure went to one that was in Southwest Orlando
Yeah,
that they
I've
talked
been
about.
to 3 in Florida.
Okay.
So
we have
I
them.
have videos about those.
That's awesome.
We'll have to go check them out.
For sure.
So we can definitely check out her YouTube channel and Instagram. We'll put the links in the show notes
Yep.
below. So yeah.
Kristin, thank you so much for doing this. This is so much
Oh my
fun.
gosh, this
Yeah.
was so great. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. You have a wonderful day and we'll talk to you soon.